What's up, guys? It's Zero here, bringing you all a brand new episode of the Anml Aftershow. Welcome, everyone, to the Anml Aftershow, the best Call of Duty show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome everybody to the Aftershow, where we talk about everything in the world of Call of Duty, plus we give you guys some insight into what it all means. And today specifically, we're going to be talking about the Esports World Cup, day one, and we're also going to be talking about something outside of Call of Duty, that being none other than Battlefield 6. And normally, guys, we aren't going to be, I should say most of the time, we don't talk about things outside of the realm of Call of Duty, but when something really big happens, like that being Battlefield coming out with a new title, another FPS, and something that we're talking about constantly is other FPS titles, and we plan on talking about other FPS games here on Anml for sure, because we're just passionate about FPS titles as a whole, and so Battlefield is one of those. And some of you might look at that as a sacrilege to talk about Battlefield when we primarily talk about Call of Duty. But I want to talk about it because I think there's some awesome things that Battlefield is doing, and you got to give credit where credit's due. So with that down and out of the way, I want to welcome all of you guys to the after show. So let's do it, guys. Let's talk about what's been going on first and foremost with none other than Esports World Cup Black Ops 6 Day 1. So, guys, we're going to start with this first match of the day, which was Optic versus Five Fears. And, of course, as you would expect, Optic mopped the floor of Five Fears. I think that Optic played really all day today. Optic looked great. They looked like they were still in championship form. Not a lot of rust that they're trying to knock off, but they completed the 3-0 sweep of Five Fears. And look, I mean, it's to be expected. I don't think anybody thought that Five Fears was going to come into this thing and upset Optic, even though, I mean, you got Capsule, Hixie, Exceed, and Fire, all a part of Five Fears, which, you know, obviously, solid team. But when you're taking on the championship caliber Optic at the Esports World Cup, especially coming off of, you know, they won COD Champs last year. They go to EWC. And was there a championship hangover? Maybe a little bit. Atlanta FaZe obviously won the last EWC, so they're the defending champions. I think Optic want to prove a point, though, that they are the best in the world at Black Ops 6. And it wasn't just, you know, one COD Champs. It was back-to-back COD Champs that they won. And they are looking early on here to be making a statement at EWC. So we started off there, guys. And, man, like I said, Optic looked dominant the entire game. Then we moved into, obviously, there was a couple other matches that happened. You had Cloud9 versus G2 Esports. A lot of 3-0s today, you know, just clean sweeps. Cloud9 swept G2 Esports. I mean, they actually looked really good in that matchup against G2. I thought that G2 looks, you know, overmatched. I can't really see G2 going very far at EWC, but nonetheless, Cloud9 looked great. And then you had Vancouver Surge going up against Team Orchid. And interestingly enough, Vancouver Surge dropped a map. It was 3-1. Vancouver, maybe they're trying to dust some of that, COD champs, kind of get back into the groove. Because a lot of that can happen where teams that, made a massive run maybe at COD champs, but came up short, that being, Vancouver Surge. You definitely, psychologically, that certainly can affect you, going into another tournament, just, the brutal loss of losing at COD champs, going all the way, that losers bracket run that the Vancouver Surge made, at COD champs to make it, and they got so far, and then, of course, in the grand finals, lose to Optic. But they put up a fight, there's no doubt. So they come into EWC, they do drop a map, but they still win 3-1. Then we get to our fourth matchup of the night, or I should say of the day, and that was 100 Thieves versus Gentlemates, or the LA Thieves, right? During EWC, the teams are able to change their name from what they are in the CDL. And so LA Thieves reverted back to 100 Thieves for this tournament, specifically at EWC. They beat Gentlemates. They beat the brakes off of them. I should say, the first match felt a little bit, it felt like there were moments where Gentlemates looked good, during the first hard point. But really, 100 Thieves, they took control of that first match, or that first game, and they really didn't look back. And so they won 3-0 to Gentlemates. So 100 Thieves, we have seen this time and time again where they come up very small on day one, not at EWC, because now it feels like, and look, we're kind of speculating at this point, but it feels like LA Thieves this is a make or break tournament for them, where if they lose early at EWC, that team might break up. I mean, it's hard to, I feel that LA Thieves would want to keep this team together for a little while longer because they did win some majors this year. They did look dominant at different points throughout the course of the year. But the big one, that being COD champs, they did not show up at all and got outplayed the entire tournament at COD champs. So they're starting off strong, 3-0. Love to see that because I love LA Thieves and I love what this team, and I want to see them do great things. And like I said, they just came up really short during COD champs. So great start for them. Then we get to Boston Breach versus Team War. And the Boston Breach, they won this one 3-1. Team War did, get a map off of Boston Breach. But once again, Boston Breach were kind of the underdog story, it felt like, of COD champs. Coming into EWC, the question was, can they carry over the momentum that they had from COD champs into EWC? And sure enough, here we are, a 3-1 against Team War. So big up to them. Then we got to the surprise matchup. I guess maybe it wasn't a surprise for a lot of people, but it was certainly a surprise matchup to me. And that was Team Falcons versus Movie Star KOI. Movie Star beat Team Falcons with Pred 3-1. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Falcons might be a little bit further off than we thought they would be. Even though, they're not a great team by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm sure that they're probably going to get better with Black Ops 7, I would assume. But, they got beat by Movie Star. And it's not pretty. 3-1. Not pretty at all. I think Team Falcons, during roster mania and everything else moving into Black Ops 7, I think that there are a number of changes that they will probably make, because Team Falcons, they've got money to sign some great players, and they might, I would not doubt it for a second, that they are going to go out there and they are going to aggressively try to get some great players in the offseason during roster mania. But they lost 3-1 to Movie Star. Let's move on, shall we? P7 Esports aggressively try to P7 Esports, ladies and gentlemen, and Team Heretics. Now, once again, I think we were expecting Team Heretics to, come out here and not lose to P7 Esports, and they proved that they are superior to P7 Esports by beating them 3-0. Not even really close. Team Heretics played really, really well, and I was definitely impressed there with Heretics in that one. So P7, once again, just another matchup that it just felt like, or I should say a matchup that just didn't, they were not able to hang whatsoever. And then we moved into a very interesting matchup today, because there were a lot of matches today, guys, which I loved. There was just matches all throughout the day, starting early this morning. And the matches are actually, as we're live right now, they're still going on. So it's awesome. But a really interesting one to me was FaZe Clan versus Omit. This was close. Omit, guys, Omit Esports, these guys they're building something. I think that they could very well, in the foreseeable future, could be one of the teams that gets a CDL team or a CDL spot. Keep your eyes peeled for that. I think they are proving in the challenger scene that they are a force to be reckoned with. I think Omit had the two teams that made the Challengers Championship Grand Final at COD Champs were both Omit teams. So that tells you something. But they took FaZe the distance here. FaZe won 3-2, and maybe FaZe, once again, in a similar situation to what I would say, LA Thieves maybe is going through, kind of just the sheer, upsets and stuff that happened at COD Champs this year. I just wonder if they were a little bit shell-shocked from it. And, it's taken them a little while to maybe kind of get warmed up, get comfortable, things of that nature. But nonetheless, FaZe Clan did pull it off. But Omit is going to be a team to keep your eyes on in the future. Then we moved into the next match. Once again, boys and girls, once again, Optic is proving that they are the best team on the planet since COD Champs, right? I mean, they are back-to-back champions. They're figuring it out at the right time, and I think they are trying to make a point that, once again, COD Champs was not a fluke. They are the best team on the planet, and right now it's not even close, because they, once again, mollywopped Cloud9 3-0. They're winning, they're having fun out there. They're playing really united. Optic is on another level. I mean, and I'm really going to be interested to see if they can carry this into next year, But they've made the right moves at the right times when it mattered most. And it's unbelievable. A night and day difference between what we saw earlier this year to what we see now. Unreal. Optic 1 beat Cloud9 3-0. Then let's move into another great matchup. The Vancouver Surge versus 100 Thieves. Man, I feel like we've seen this same song and dance over and over and over again. The Vancouver Surge guys, they went the distance with 100 Thieves, but they won and prevailed 3-2 as they move on now in the winner's bracket. 100 Thieves drop down. And, it's been really interesting, man. Vancouver this is a team, a young, hungry team that I think are going to be a problem in the future with Black Ops 7. I really do. Now, look, the game's changed, year to year, but I think we can all assume that Black Ops 7 probably will not be a massive change from BO6. There certainly will be some changes, but it being a Black Ops title back to back here, I don't know, man. I have a feeling that Black Ops 7, if it's anything like Black Ops 6, you might see a lot of these teams, the top teams, I should say, might stick together through next year just because if it's similar. There might be minor changes here and there, and then the bottom teams there's going to be massive roster mania like crazy. But 100 Thieves, man, once again, they just weren't able to close the deal. What I like to see, though, is that they're really fighting. It's not like they're getting 3-0'd. Like when we were at COD Champs and stuff, just the craziness that was COD Champs. Never thought we were going to see that from 100 Thieves, and we did. But 100 Thieves, they won that first matchup, lose the second one to Vancouver Surge 3-2. Vancouver Surge, they're now starting to look like they're picking up where they left off. And then we got Team Heretics versus FaZe Clan, and this was another massive surprise to me. Probably the surprise so far of the tournament for Esports World Cup. Team Heretics beat FaZe 3-1. Shocking. It was truly shocking. And Heretics, they played out of their minds. I loved it. It was awesome to see, but man, I'm starting to wonder though, guys, even though I'm really starting to wonder if FaZe is going to make some changes in the offseason during roster mania. I don't know if any of those players are fully safe in the offseason because they dropped to Team Heretics, and now the pressure's really on for them. I think if they want to stick together as a team, I feel like the Terrors, you can't break them up, can you? Or can you? Because I feel like there's a chance that we might see some changes, serious changes from FaZe. Might be a couple of changes from 100 Thieves if they go out really early. I was glad to see that 100 Thieves at least won that first matchup, though. They lost really close to Vancouver Surge. I feel good about 100 Thieves, though, moving into day 2. We'll have to wait and see. FaZe Clan, I don't know, man. I'm a little bit worried about them. And then right now, what's happening live is Movistar is beating Boston Breach 2-0. Once again, pretty shocking to me. I mean, really. Movistar moved on to the winners, another winners match, and they are a game away from, or I should say a match away from moving on. But let's look into tomorrow. So tomorrow, guys, we've got 5 Fears going up against G2 Esports in an elimination match. The first elimination match of the day. Number 2, we got Gentlemates versus Team Orchid. Omit versus P7 Esports. Team Falcons versus Team War. And then you've got 100 Thieves waiting in a decider match, Cloud9 waiting in a decider match, and then FaZe Clan. And whoever loses between the Boston Breach matchup against Movistar will be in that decider match as well. So let's talk about, obviously there was definitely some surprises today. Optic looks absolutely dominant again. But let me give you guys my thoughts here. You know, 5 fears in G2 Esports. Oh, man. It's really tough. That's a tough one, man. I would have to say 5 fears are going to be G2 Esports. It could go the distance, though, 3-2. But I would say 5 fears certainly will win that one. But, hey, dude, anything can happen. You know, it's all whoever's going to show up, right? Gentlemates and Team Orchid, I think Gentlemates will win that 3-1, I would say. Once again, I mean, you just never know, right? Because even in the next one, Omit versus P7 Esports, I would say Omit should 3-0 this, for sure. Omit's been taking teams the distance. You know, they took FaZe, right? They took FaZe the distance today. Yeah, FaZe. And so, like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, P7 versus Omit. I think Omit has that one in a bag for sure. Team I'm concerned about, Team Falcons. I think that they're going to spend some serious money during Roster Mania to get some people, some really good players. Plays Team War, and I'm going to say Team War is going to win that one. I just do. I think Falcons are going to get eliminated early in their home turf, Saudi Arabia. Obviously, Team Falcons is owned by the Saudi Arabia. And so I think Team War is going to eliminate them. And that is going to trigger Team Falcons to make serious changes during Roster Mania. And then we go from there. So, look, I'm excited, guys. We had some great matchups. We had some clean sweeps. Optic, especially, just molly-whopping people right now. These guys are playing out of their minds. But nonetheless, guys, let me know what you all think about day 1 of the Esports World Cup for Black Ops 6. What did you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys, with that down and out of the way, talking about everything, you know, obviously Esports World Cup related, I got one more thing to talk about. You know, guys, I got to tell you, we primarily talk about Call of Duty on this channel, but moving forward, we're planning on talking about just FPS titles in general. Not because we don't love Call of Duty, because we love Call of Duty here. Love Call of Duty. But man, there's some other franchises out there that are great FPS titles. I would love to start talking about Valorant. Love to start talking CS, you know, other games. And I know that a lot of people are going to look at this and think blasphemy for us to talk about Battlefield 6, but I got to tell you, got some news for you guys. Battlefield 6 looks awesome. And once again, it's just a reveal trailer. But coming off of what we saw from Black Ops 7, which I stated, guys, I believe was the worst reveal trailer I have ever seen from Call of Duty that's ever been released or produced. This Battlefield title, Battlefield 6, it's everything I feel that COD should be at this point. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that Black Ops 7 is going to be terrible. I'm just saying that that trailer was trash, in my opinion. It looked like it was Halo, it was Mass Effect, looked like Infinite Warfare a little bit. It did not look like COD to me, like overall. This right here, though, Battlefield knows what it is, and it sticks to what it is. And Battlefield's obviously coming off of a title that I thought was good in 2042, Battlefield 2042. But bro, this game, you want to know who's coming for COD? You want to know who's coming for Call of Duty right now? Vince Zampella. Vince Zampella worked on MW2, if you guys remember. Modern Warfare 2, 2009. 2009. Well, guess where Vince Zampella is now? he's working on Battlefield 6. That's where he is. And before that, he was working on the Titanfall universe. And Titanfall 1, Titanfall 2, Apex Legends. Guess who took a lot of elements from Titanfall? Oh yeah, Call of Duty did with Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, and Infinite Warfare. I don't know. Maybe Vince Zampella is a pretty kind of sees into the future when it comes to gaming. And I got to tell you that Battlefield 6 looks awesome. From this trailer, I'm like, dude, I'm sold. I love this. I think it looks great. I really do. It looks awesome. I've always stated, though, that I just feel like Battlefield needs to have an esports scene. I would love to see them have an esports scene or something. That would be really cool. It's not going to change Call of Duty for me, but I'm wondering, and guys, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Will Battlefield 6 and Black Ops 7 be a Battlefield 1 Infinite Warfare situation? Like, do you guys remember this, where Infinite Warfare got so much hate because everybody was so sick of the jetpack era and they wanted to go back to boots on the ground and things of that nature. And so it was one of the most disliked videos of all time on YouTube, of all time. And a lot of people from COD went to Battlefield and played Battlefield 1. You remember this? I'm just saying that Battlefield 6 is like what we, the hardcore Call of Duty fans, want to see from COD. Like, you can just see from the way they've made this, it looks like it's all going to be dark, like gritty style, like, you know, microtransactions and stuff. And yeah, it's just a reveal trailer. This game might be terrible. And the Black Ops 7 trailer that was absolute trash, that game might be the best COD of all time. We don't know. It's just a reveal, and a trailer is designed to up your anticipation for a game a few notches from where it already was. This did that for me with Battlefield. With Call of Duty on the flip side, my anticipation level dropped a couple of levels with that teaser trailer. So I'm just saying that Battlefield 6 looks incredible. It looks absolutely incredible. Like, I love the way it looks. It looks like Battlefield, right? It looks like what Call of Duty should be. And I'm going to be really interested to see what they decide to do in the future. But I just believe that Vince Zampella and the guys that, you know, have made some of these titles, and Battlefield 6 specifically coming out, this could be one of, if not the best Battlefields ever created. Even got a little bit of some Rainbow Six in there. You see that sledgehammer? I love that, dude. Love it. It's going to be, I believe, a great Battlefield entry based on just this trailer, right? We got to see the multiplayer reveal, which is July 31st. But from what I'm seeing from a story trailer, a reveal trailer, I'm sold. Completely sold. Now, it says that there's optional in-game. It says that there's optional in-game purchases. But, man, I don't think that Vince Zampella and those guys are going to do what COD's doing, where you got all these crazy-looking skins and stuff, Beavis and Butthead and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all of that. Like, you know, Call of Duty's kind of trying to tap into the Fortnite element. Battlefield's like, yo, you want a gritty shooter? We got you. And yeah, we made a misstep with certain elements of Battlefield 2042, but hey, bro, we're back. And I'm incredibly excited about this title. I think that this could be something really special, and I'm going to be covering that multiplayer reveal on the 31st. I'm excited to, and look, the timing of it's really interesting too, because Gamescom is coming out obviously in August, and that's where Call of Duty is going to be showing off, you know, their multiplayer reveal and things of that nature. more than likely their release date. But Battlefield wants to stay ahead of it. And they are going to try to tap into the Call of Duty community as well as the hardcore Battlefield fans. I loved it, man. I love everything about this trailer. I think it looks great. Man, dude, to me, it looks like this is what the Call of Duty trailer was supposed to be. Battlefields. Just intensity, dude. Insanity. I'm really excited about Battlefield 6, guys. We'll be covering it. Let us know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below, and let us know your thoughts. And with that down and out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who joined us for the Anml Aftershow. And joining us for, talking about Battlefield 6, man. Battlefield 6, EWC, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. The future is exciting, man. And, as we're consistently finding our footing as to, as we're navigating the direction that we want to take Anml, obviously Call of Duty is what Anml was built on. But at the same time, Anml is much more than just COD. Anml is, this team is so well versed in so many other different FPS titles and games in general, between myself and Jeff and Cody and Evan and all these different guys who are part of the squad. Anml is, yes, built on Call of Duty, and it will stay rooted with Call of Duty and Call of Duty content. But we also love FPS titles. Battlefield 6 is one that's going to be on our radar without question. I'm definitely, I would love to see a Titanfall 3. That would be cool. But Valorant, obviously we've talked on the channel about GTA 6. That's something that we want to cover is GTA 6, certainly. So I'm really excited, guys, and I'm really grateful for all of you who have been joining us on this journey. And we're just getting started, man. I got a lot of content. We, as a collective unit, have a lot of content that we're going to be bringing to you guys, and I'm really excited about that. But thank you so much for being on this journey with us, guys and girls. If you guys enjoyed this live stream, make sure that you leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, just keep grinding, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.